Are you drowning in data but starving for strategic direction? In a fast-paced world of retail, it's easy to get caught in the day-to-day operations, managing teams, putting out fires, and lose sight of the bigger picture. We see leaders wrestling with complex data ecosystems, outdated reports, and the constant pressure to prove ROI of their insights. But what if there was a clearer path? What if you could cut through the noise, translate that complexity into simple, powerful strategies that drive real growth? Welcome to Life Has Levels, a podcast dedicated to exploring how retail leaders can move beyond just managing metrics to truly leading with vision. We believe that data without strategy is just noise. Here, we dive into turning raw data into actionable intelligence, fostering commitment within your team, and building the strategic roadmaps that deliver measurable results. I'm Bo, and I've spent years navigating these exact challenges. Join me as we explore practical approaches, share insights, and learn how to build businesses that sell smarter, operate leaner, and plan with confidence. Let's find clarity over complexity and elevate your leadership today. I was asked 25 times. I refined what I had in terms of a response, but comments like more pay. I don't have enough money to pay the rent. That's something I previously thought that you needed to have figured out. We're here, like the business is here, because it's doing business and it has determined that this is the pay rate for the role that you accepted. This is an agreement that was already made. Why are we talking about, like, there's nothing I can do about it today. What do you want me to do about it? I can give you the roadmap to get to the next level, to earn more dollars, certainly. But it's not going to happen today. And I found a lot of the times that, it takes a lot of work. If you want to advance and you want to follow someone's direction, then it's a journey. You gotta go down. You gotta commit. You gotta do the same things. I can give you the answer. The answer's there. You just gotta follow that path for a long time and not get diverted. But it's just one way to get there. It's the way that I see for you to get from A to B. Now, you have to do all those things. If you try to do 25 different things at the same time, you might get there. I don't have the right answer every time. I have the answer ultimately comes from you. Whatever it's going to take from you to get there, I can provide guidance. But today, we can talk about it. And I found that a lot of the times that it's a venting situation. And I know retail's hard. And the comment that everybody should work in food service at one point in their lives, I think the same holds true for retail. It's an experience where you engage with customers at a very intimate level on some occasions, where it's emotionally emphasized, or what is the word for a hot topic, like elevated emotions, because there's a problem. There's a problem. You sold them a product to you, not you, the organization. You're the representative of the organization. Sold them a product to fix that problem. They purchased. They spent their money. There was an exchange that took place. They went home, used the product to fix their problem, whatever it was, and it didn't work to expectation. So the first person that hears about it is Sally at the customer service desk, or Jimmy in the department. What? And they'll do everything they can, but I'll be honest. I've been beat up by customer dressed down in front of my staff, no less. And it's not that it's completely unwarranted. Customer has a right to be upset. I mean, there's good ways to go about it and there's bad ways to go about it, but there's a way to evaluate it. And the longer you do it, the more pragmatic you can be. If you can zoom out from that situation and look at it from okay, this person has a challenge. We're an organization. It is literally it doesn't matter how they're mad at the organization at the end of the day. They're mad at the experience. They're not even mad at the organization. They're mad that it didn't go well. And it's really, here's your opportunity to make a positive customer experience. There's the customer service paradigm that if customer receives fantastic service, seamless service the first time, no problems, no questions asked, and it's just perfect, that person will walk away and say, hey, yeah, that was good. That was great. They're not necessarily going to tell their friends about it. They won't go to social media about it. If they have a bad experience, they're going to tell their friends. They're going to go to social media. They're going to try to find a resolution because it's emotionally charged. Now, say they have a poor experience. You can take that challenging situation where you pragmatically and objectively evaluate that you're in a position to make it right and deliver customer service. Be an exceptional steward of the customer service for your organization. Now, it took me a while to get there. I get that it's hard. I've never barked back at a customer. I've been hurt. That's like some people, but I did it for a long time, and I grew in position, and I got better at it. And eventually, I put into a management role and a leadership role where you must take it into a different consideration. Now, the folks that are taking the brunt of that are, that they're getting paid retail wages. A lot of times, it's a summer job or a job that you're doing when you go to school. Sometimes you land in the job and you're 10 years later. But you're around long enough and you see a bunch of things. And so, the business, I got to put somebody in a leadership position. Might as well be the guy or the gal that's been around for 5 years and understands the whole process, right? But that doesn't change that Nick got lit up by a customer and wants to know what he can do to get paid more. Hey man, here's a roadmap, or what do you want to do? Let's talk about it. Let's hear about it. And be knowledgeable. Here's your opportunity to also be a leader. You're a customer service leader. You're an associate leader. As a leader in the retail environment, you wear a lot of hats, especially in the building. It's operational. It's customer service. It's associate handling. It's conflict management. It's sales, performance management. They don't teach you a lot of these things. There may be some computer-based training that comes out that you drum through, but there's no this is how we do it. And I've never been in the military, and I appreciate the service of every military member. Shout out to our service members. But what I hear is that the military is very good at teaching things. It takes a whole week to learn one little thing, but you learn it, and you learn it well because there's a support system and it's repeated and there's a very well defined process. It's because this organization is massive and it takes to be an effective fighting machine as a nation globally. Then everything has to be synced up. And it's a finely tuned machine. Truly exceptional. Now, you take it back to a retail store, it's not like there's defined processes and procedures, but maybe your boss doesn't care. Your boss has different objectives. It's not like the objectives need to align, and this is where your emphasis on what is the company's vision, mission, values. And so this is where there is a segmentation of a trainer, a supervisor, manager, a leader. A trainer is someone that takes the policies, procedures as they understand them. And typically someone will be assigned a trainer when they're really good at doing something, executing, to teach others to do that same process. And it's focused on that simple step-by-step process. Here, I'm coaching you to do this. A supervisor, make sure processes are conducted and executed in a proper fashion, consistently, across teams, focuses and rallies teams in an individual area. This is the area that needs help. A manager focuses on administrative tasks that are departmental and planning and organizing and staffing, controlling resources, the people, the budget, the time. So they'll set performance objectives, allocate work, manage budgets, conduct performance reviews, solve operational problems, ensure resources are used efficiently. That success is typically measured by the achievement of outcomes in a management role. When you shift to leadership, it focuses on strategic direction and fosters a shared vision. A leader is defined by having the capacity to allow people to grow, inspire people through motivation, to be excited to sell a compelling vision on whatever it is. They use tools like influence and communication, empathy, coaching to build commitment. It's about commitment, not compliance, where I feel that manager aims for compliance, whereas leaders look for commitment. That's the only way you can navigate change. It's how you foster innovation. It's how you foster collaboration. And it's measured by employee engagement, the adaptability. Can the team bob and weave? Achievement of long-term goals, development of leaders, people development. So when a leader has a compelling vision, people just want to believe in things. And that's why that associate here is a team member here had got lit up by a customer and is worried about their pay because their bigger picture is, I got to get paid. Need to make sure I get paid. That was rough. I'm here getting beat up. Why am I doing this? Okay, I'm doing this because I'm getting paid. That number isn't exactly what I'd like it to be. So who would I talk to about that? Okay, my manager. And then you become that conversation. Now, manager, leader, that term interacts and interchanges and weaves. They're not segmented and they're not separated. Which, it is what it is. So a manager has to be also a leader, and not just, okay, here's your metrics. This is the goals I need you to meet, because that's what I was told. That's what the numbers say we need to do, and you're the person to do it. Whereas when you can describe where you're going, where the road will take you and the team, it's the bigger picture. So you take the bigger picture that is provided by an organization. As a leader in the organization, it's now, how does this apply to everything that we do? Vision's where we're going, the mission's how we're doing it, and the values are what we believe in. When you can align the values with behavior of everything that's happening for good and opportunities in your location, then you can foster an environment of, we're going the right direction. Because if you're going in the direction that the organization is going, you're excited about it and you're fired up about it, and you lead through recognition, championing, be the champion of your people. Always, man. That's, be the champion. Recognize them for demonstrating the values aligned with the objectives. That's that's how you get there. Values aligned with objectives through recognition will achieve extraordinary outcomes. Now, I'm gonna say it, and it's nothing about it is political. Nothing about it is anything other than pragmatically the words I'm gonna say is, Elon Musk took his money from PayPal and split it in two, because he believed, right? He believed in him. He believed in a couple things, and divided it into two categories. One was building electric cars before they were a mainstream product, and the other was building rockets. Like, that in and of itself is a boss move. So he builds the cars and dreams so big that he takes electric cars, builds a system, a nationwide system that moves in the direction that kind of had been talked about. The other automakers had fiddle-faddled around with it, but nothing was compelling, nothing was exciting enough until Elon framed it in a way that was attracted brilliance. And it takes brilliance, it attracts brilliance. Brilliance brings along with it innovation, and innovation developed what Tesla has become. And this is aside from anything current today, a lot of shim-sham, but the rockets, so compelling vision for cars. We take cars everywhere. It's in the United States. Cars are, I imagine you get in a car every single day. The barrier to entry is not real low, especially to be a competitive player. Rockets, barrier to entry not real low, especially when he comes in and wants to go to space. It's a little loose on its definition. can't get to space. We don't have rockets. The United States doesn't build rockets anymore. We stopped that program. We're done building rockets. If we want to go to space, we got to go to the Russians. So Elon went to the Russians. Found that the Russians weren't all business. They wanted, I guess I don't know. He didn't like the way they conducted business. So he said, well, okay, I'll build the rockets. Well, we will build the rockets. And said, we'll go to Mars. Who else says we're going to go to Mars? You have to be able to say, we're going to Mars in a way that other people believe you. And not just other people. The most brilliant minds on the planet. Again, the level of belief in idea and passion and excitement and enthusiasm and commitment that it took to get the buy-in and commitment from such a dynamic team is extraordinary. I still remember a video of Elon when everything's very expensive, and he talks about he's running out of money. We don't have money for rockets forever. This was years ago. I don't know it's the current financial situation over there at SpaceX, but the discussion is we're running out of money. Like, these rockets got to start working. We keep hitting send. He's encouraged to take his money out of rockets. Keeps going. And under all this stress, he's watching the videos of him watching the whatever rocket it is takes off. Everything's going good. And then, boom, rocket blows up in the middle of the air. Oh, rockets aren't cheap. Not only that, what it took to get here wasn't cheap. We'd start building rockets. We didn't build rockets because it's very expensive. We left it to the Russians, and the Russians had old rockets. So here we are, innovated rocket building rockets. Rocket goes to the sky, rocket blows up. But the composure after the explosion, post-interview, was sound in the way he just said, it's a bum deal that it didn't work out. Just gotta find out what happened and make those adjustments. It's because it's such a big idea, because it's so compelling, and everything you do as a leader, your team is watching. To be unshaken, unwavered by that event showed a lot of poise. His team believed in him. Richard Branson has a lot of that type of mojo. Excited, enthusiastic. He's also building spaceships. Virgin Mobile. But the ability to be cool, to be excited, to sell a compelling vision is what defines a leader. If you can define a bigger picture for your team, then they can go to work and be excited. So when the inevitable proverbial Karen comes in and lights up little Jimmy in the back for product missing or whatever it may be, well, Jimmy doesn't get all beat up. Little Jimmy knows he's working to deliver the most outstanding customers. The standard of excellence is there, that we're delivering better service than XYZ. If you can pit the team against something, then they feel enthusiastic. Now, a common way to do that is to pit it against a competitor. But if you can pit we're competing against the challenge rather than, whatever's across the street, then that's another level of leadership that's up. Because fighting the competitor is one thing, but fighting the problem is bigger picture. Simon Sinek has a skit where not a skit, but a seminar that he discusses his experience with a Microsoft executive about some product. Simon looks to stir the pot, says something about Apple. The Microsoft executive just gave a bunch of facts, figures is why we're better. Period. And, here's where we benchmark. It's all benchmarks, right? And then that's a good thing. Benchmarking is not a bad thing. It's what you're benchmarking against. If you benchmark against others, then you're playing for second place, because the inverse conversation that he had with an Apple executive, stirring the pot, as Simon does, brings up the Zune. So this was a little throwback. The Apple exec says, they got a really good product. It's really cool. That was it. It's just acknowledged that the space in which they're competing is, oh man, they did a good job. That's pretty cool, because that type of thinking moves the industry as a whole forward, because it's not, we're going to go get better than that. It's not tit for tat. It's not this for that. It becomes a bigger, that's good. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at, that is good. Obviously, this exec is probably like, okay, this is why it's good. And these are really cool things. And you got your lane. Be good at your lane. If you don't stay in your lane, you're never going to be the best in the world at anything. You'll be competing for first, second place in other categories. Now you find a template, use the template, play the game by the rules, but modify the template. Help little Jimmy see the bigger picture. Be a part of something bigger. Find your success. Dig in the data. Find the answers. Drive the compelling vision. Grow your business.